Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Antonia, and today I wanted to make a video for people who might feel like they're having a hard time embodying the person that they want to be. Learning how to bridge the gap between who you are now and who you want to be means sitting with feelings that might make you feel uncomfortable. In today's society, it's so easy to distract yourself and avoid the feelings that come up when you try to go and be the person that you want to be. It might feel really uncomfortable. But diving into that uncomfortability and learning how to understand and grasp all of these complicated feelings, it's that process of understanding your internal emotions that is what is going to carry you into being the person that you truly want to be. And in order to grow, you have to allow yourself to sit with your emotions. The more and more you distract yourself, the more it stunts your growth, and the more that you hang on to the past. The longer you distract yourself from issues, feelings regarding experiences in the past, and the feelings that you feel, all it will do is leave you blocked subconsciously. All of these negative things never go away unless they are released. And to release these blockages and to release these negative emotions, they must be dealt with. They must be understood. These feelings are crying out to you for a reason. They want to be examined, just like everything else in your life. Just like the good emotions in your life get attention, the bad emotions in your life also need to get equal amount of attention, and they need to be specified. You need to look at these negative feelings for what they are and study them, understand all of the nooks and crannies of the emotions that you feel from past experiences. The experiences that we go through shape us and mold us into the person that we are, whether we like it or not. Anytime you try to control or alter a reality, anytime you try to deflect away from the truth or avoid the truth, all it does is stunt you. All it does is prevent growth, and it blocks you from being the person that you want to be. And everything that you want to be, you already have all of those things inside of you, or else you wouldn't be searching for those things. You wouldn't be longing to have certain qualities if those qualities weren't already in yourself. It's just that you want the permission to be those things. And you are the only person who can give yourself permission to be who you want to be. You have to give yourself permission to be your authentic self, and that can be very uncomfortable. It's scary to put yourself out there. It's scary to maybe be a failure in someone's eyes or disappoint the people closest to you. But that process of going through that uncomfortability, that is what is really going to change you. It's not getting to the end result and magically becoming the person that you wish you could be. What will really change who you are is going through those uncomfortable emotions that come up through the process. By not facing those emotions as they come up, they will live on inside of your body. By hanging on to emotion, you are actually keeping the past alive. Without letting go of emotion, you will live according to those beliefs that you inherited from your past experiences. As life molds you and shapes you, you have to understand how your experiences have affected you today. And there's no shame, there's no judgment, there's no expectation for who you should be in this moment. all that you need to grow is awareness and humility. Distractions are the number one thing that stop us from growing, and distractions can take form in many different ways. The obvious ones are drugs, alcohol, food, even love, sex, porn, anything really that you could throw yourself into to avoid some type of confrontation with a negative emotion. Those distractions are just a string of quick fixes. Jumping from distraction to distraction perpetuates the darkness in your life, and all you're doing is living in the past by distracting yourself with superficial things. Trying to bend the truth is just perpetuating the darkness, because as you're refusing to turn around and look at your shadow, you're actually like a tornado, hurting everything in your presence with your lack of self-awareness because of your selfishness and your lack of accountability for the darkness and the dark feelings that reside within you. It comes out attacking the people around you, and that is a subconscious mechanism that is unavoidable. The reason not everyone just decides to let go of distractions and to face their shadow side is because it's difficult. It's extremely difficult. It's probably one of the hardest things that we have to do in this lifetime is accept the feelings that come with tragedy and learning how to accept grief. By not letting go of the emotions from when we were the victim, we will constantly be living in a state of victimhood, and that is what keeps you living in the past. As children growing up, a lot of us may not have gotten the tools, the emotional tools needed to learn how to cope with the emotions that we get. And it's that internal sense of safety that most of us lack. As you turn into an adult, you have to understand what your higher power is. Like, who are you listening to? Who's the authority in your life? Once you begin going through the process, it will leave you with a unique imprint. You will gain knowledge that is specific to you and unique to you. And it's your experiences that mold you and shape you, and the lessons that you learn from them that give you the value in this lifetime. To become the person of your dreams, to become the person that you really want to be, it takes going through some type of transformation process. We all wish it could be easy to grow. We all wish that it could be easy to just make goals and to stick to them and boom, to become the person that we want to be. But it's so much more complicated than that, and our emotions are so intricate. And the more that we realize that, the more that we can understand our purpose on this earth, and how no experience that we have really goes to waste, because we learn something as humans from every experience that we go through. And this is what makes each of us so unique, is that throughout all of the experiences that we've had, even if we were alone through them, or even if no one else understands them, we were always there with ourselves. We got ourselves through those situations, and only you have the knowledge, because it was only you who went through those things. So until you share, until you accept those things that you went through, you won't be able to heal yourself and in turn heal others around you. By remaining blocked, you hurt the people around you subconsciously. Feelings and emotions that come to us are information. To grow, we could use that information. We have to pay attention to our emotions and our feelings because they're telling us something so important. If we want to be the highest version of ourselves, we have to learn what it means to live in the present and to be the person that we are in this very moment, and not stay stuck being the person that we were when we were a child. It's easy and comfortable to keep distracting yourself from those feelings that you're avoiding. It's easier to be the person that people want you to be in the short term, but in the long term, it's so detrimental to yourself. It's so detrimental to your happiness. What if you were different? What if you are different? And what if you need to learn how to take responsibility for your choices? And it's really scary to feel like you're alone in the things that you do. It's uncomfortable to feel like you may not be loved by the people around you when you are the person that you want to be. But until you try, you'll never know. The distractions that keep you from dealing with those uncomfortable feelings of feeling like an outcast, feeling like an imposter, avoiding that will keep you living in the past, and it will keep you living as the person that people wanted you to be when you were a child. And that's a lot of pressure to take on. That's a lot of emotion and feeling to carry with you all throughout life. So why not face it and release it and be vulnerable and have some humility? It's so valuable. It's a gift for us to be able to feel. So when you feel, keep following those feelings and observe them, but don't lose yourself in them. And when you learn to observe them as information coming through, that's how you will gain the tools you need to become the person that you want to be. There's a lot of pain that comes with failure. There's a lot of fear when it comes to trying and putting yourself out there and being different. But what if you were able to take responsibility for all of those choices? And what if you were to go towards those things that you're scared of? There's a reason it feels so uncomfortable, and just because it feels uncomfortable doesn't mean that those things aren't meant for you. It just means that you are perpetuating past narratives placed on you from your past that you should release to be the person that you want to be, because those past narratives that are hanging over your head and stopping you from being your highest self, none of those belong to you. When you were a child, you were open and vulnerable, as all children are. Children are sponges. They absorb the emotions of the adults around them, and children are very easily influenced by the parents. Children are constantly learning from their parents and the way that they deal with things. So a lot of us were not given the emotional tools to learn how to deal with the feelings that come through. Not only that, but who we are is often predetermined by our environment. If we don't have parents that advocate for autonomy, and if we don't have parents that give us permission to be whatever we want to be, we will always feel guilty when we try to be our truest self. A lot of times there's a guilt or an obligation to be the person that people wanted us to be when we were a child. And it can feel really scary as we get older, in your 20s and 30s, and even as you go through life and you're trying to become the person that you always wished you were. There's gonna be that guilt until you release the expectation and give yourself permission to be your authentic self. And it comes with practice. It's very scary at first to put yourself out there and to feel different. We all wish that we could relate to someone. We wish that we could be in a group and feel comfortable and have that ease. When you're in a group, you don't have to worry about standing out because you can blend in. You're accepted as you are. But in reality, all of us are so different, and it's a blessing to know that you're different, because it means that you have gone so deep into your emotions and your emotional nature that you can see how your experiences have made you such a unique person. The more that you can embrace what makes you unique, the less guilty you'll feel when you try to be your authentic self. Being distracted will only keep you in the past. Focus on qualities that you're jealous of in other people. That can be a huge clue to you, to tell you what you're subconsciously craving, what you're missing out on. What kind of life do you really want to live that you're avoiding because you're scared of going there? When you consciously choose to see that pain and you consciously choose to face that uncomfortability that you feel when you try to be yourself, that's when you learn to change. Just because you feel uncomfortable when you try to express yourself doesn't mean that you should stop expressing yourself. It means that you need to keep trying. Understand why. Don't just go back to a distraction. Don't just scroll on TikTok. Even if you do those things, take the time to be distracted, but don't miss out on learning from the emotions that you could learn from. You are smart enough. You have the things that you need to be the person that you want to be, or else you wouldn't even think about being that person in the first place. Let go of the narratives that have been given to you and stop running from things. And when you stop running, you will grow exponentially, and you will be glad that you did do the hard thing. It will change you forever. You will inspire other people with your authenticity, and not only will you be an inspiration, you will gain that confidence that no one else will be able to take from you forever. You have that internal confidence and knowingness of being able to face challenges and overcome them. Life did not happen to you. You went through life and it molded you. The way that we learn from it is what makes us unique, and it's what gives us the gifts that we have to share. The more that you face your emotions and stop distracting yourself, the less power those negative feelings will have over you. And that's when you'll be able to gain the freedom you need to be yourself. When you make the conscious choice to release the negative feelings that are holding you back, when you make the conscious choice to understand them before you release them, you will understand how you've grown, and you will understand why people do what they do and why you do what you do. It's important to ask questions and to always be curious about why you do the things that you do. You have to ask why. You have to want to know the truth. You are enough to be the person that you want to be. It just takes releasing those feelings from the past, and you do that by not distracting yourself. You do that by learning how to sit with yourself. And when you learn how to do that in any way that you choose, you can do that with journaling, you can do that with meditation, mindfulness, even just noticing when you're distracting yourself. Take a pause and at least question why. What just happened to make me want to be numb? What just happened in my life that's making me want to zone out and be distracted? You will automatically learn from those questions, and you will get to the root of more issues and learn and grow and be able to go through the process that you need to go through to grow. It's only us that can do that. No one is going to come and save us. No one is going to magically appear in your life and give you the opportunity that you want. And if that does happen, it might seem like a dream from the outside, but you really need to be emotionally at the same level as the people and things that you want to be. The things that you want to be exist at a higher level, and you can't exist at that higher level and be the person that you want to be if you're stuck in the past, listening to those old emotions and operating from those subconscious blockages. Our emotions subconsciously guide everything that we do throughout the day. So when we're completely unaware of how our emotions are impacting us, we are completely missing out on things that we could learn from. Life is about connection and learning lessons and growing together. It's important to learn how to feel your emotions and not just intellectualize them or logically understand them. It's not the experiences themselves that shape who we are. It's the emotions that come along with the experiences that we went through. And those emotions are completely unique to us. And we may relate to other people with the emotions that we go through with certain experiences, which is amazing. But we are all so unique, and we all process things in a different way. We all have different perspectives that we have, that we carry with us. That's where our purpose comes in. That's where we can say, these things happened to me. This is how I perceived it. This is what I learned from it, and I'm here to share these things with you. To me, that is a solid purpose. That is what all of us should strive to do. And there's so many different ways to do that. There's so many different ways to understand yourself more. It all comes down to reflecting on how you felt during your past experiences. The only person who can grant yourself permission to feel the feelings that you have is you. It is uncomfortable. There's no way around that. There's a reason many of us stay blocked for so long. And it's because it's always the easiest thing in the moment to distract yourself from what's making you uncomfortable. And it's so natural. We all do it in some way. That's why drinking and smoking is all over the world. In all parts of the world, there's a version of some type of numbing out. The more that you sit with yourself, the more you'll grow, and the more that you'll understand who you are at a deeper level. The closer you can get to yourself, the closer you can get to being the person that you really want to be. It's hard out here. It's hard to not distract yourself because there's so many distractions in this world, but I'm rooting for you. I see you. You're doing great. Give yourself some grace and just know that you already are the person that you want to be. You just have to change that timeline. You have to step into it and not run from it. You have to go through it to really know the landscape of your mind and to know what is so unique about you that you have to share with the world, no matter what it is or no matter what profession you do. You're here to learn lessons. You're here to help others around you learn lessons and to gain that knowledge about life that no one can ever take away from you. Feel free to reach out in the comments or ask me any questions you might have, or if you have anything to add regarding this topic or personal experiences that you want to share. I'd love to hear them and connect with you guys. Thank you for watching my entire video. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you, and I hope you have a great day.